Hi guys, welcome back. Today I am going to be canning my own mixed vegetables, sort of like a homemade veg all. So I thought I'd take you along and show you how I'm going to do that. I am harvesting just some odds and ends from the garden to add to this. Right now I'm harvesting carrots. These are Danvers carrots. That's an heirloom variety. It's one of my faves. So I'm harvesting some of those. I also have already inside some frozen peas because I had one last small harvest of peas after I'd done all of my major canning of peas, and so I didn't really want to heat up the canner for just like 3 jars of peas, so I froze the last ones, and I have those thawed out so I can add those to this mixed veggie, the veggies that I'm going to can. I also have some potatoes that I've already harvested a few weeks ago, and I have some corn actually left over in the freezer from last season, so I'm going to thaw out some of that. And so I'm going around, I'm just getting bits and pieces of different things, and this is all going to be added to my mixed vegetables that I will be canning, like Veg All. I wanted to do this just so that's one less thing I have to buy at the store. I do buy, in the past I bought Veg All for casseroles and soups, easy, quick. And I thought, hey, this will be really easy to just can up my own with all of my leftover bits and pieces. And so that is what we are going to do. It'll save me some money at the grocery store and use up all these little odds and ends. So next I am harvesting some celery. With celery, as it grows, if you harvest the outermost leaves, like you'll see me doing here, you just pull the outermost stalks. The inner part of the celery will continue to produce new celery stalks. So instead of harvesting the entire celery plant all at once, you can just harvest the outside stalks from each celery plant, and that way you'll have a continued harvest all season long. So I'm doing that. I'm going to add that to my mix. You see here I'm just going through and taking all those largest stalks. And so I also want to take you along and show you this as just an encouragement to get you to think outside the box of thinking about things that you usually buy at the grocery store and how you can cut those off of your buying list and instead produce those at home. This is an easy one. If you buy Veg All for recipes, it's pretty easy to make these from things that you can find in your garden already. Just odds and ends, whatever you happen to have available, will save you money at the store, and I'll also use up the odds and ends. And okay, so now I'm going to be harvesting some green beans. I've already canned probably 20 or 30 jars of green beans, and so now I'm at this in-between stage, which if you've ever grown green beans, you know what I mean, where you just have a few that need picked to keep encouraging new growth on the plants, but you don't really have enough to do much else with. I mean, we could eat these fresh, just for a meal or two, but it wouldn't be enough to run the canner for. So instead I'm going to go through and I'm going to harvest a bowl of green beans. I'm going to add that to my mixed veggies. I'm just sorting through here and finding some of those. But when you first start gardening and start preserving your own food, the sort of natural progression of that is as you harvest your own things, you usually go through and you make one big harvest of like green beans, and then you can all of those, or carrots. You can all of those, and sometimes it can get boring to eat the same thing over and over again. So it's important to look at your grocery list. This is some smaller onions, but I'm going to go ahead and harvest those just to use right away. But it's important to start to step outside the box and think of ways that you can start to produce the things that you once bought at the grocery store. Like I said, since I do usually buy Veg All, it's on my list of things to cut out of buying at the store. That's why I'm making my own this time around. So to this, I'm going to be adding the carrots. I wash the carrots really good, and then I peel them, slice them. I love the smell of fresh carrots also. These are some Pontiac red potatoes that I just harvested a few weeks ago. So we're going to add some of those. Potatoes do need to be boiled for a few minutes before you can them. So I'm going to wash these up, peel them. You do not can potatoes with peelings on them because of the bacteria risk. So I'm going to wash these, peel these, cut them up into 1-inch slices, and then that will be added to our mix after I boil those for 5 to 10 minutes. I have onion, carrots, celery, green beans, peas, and corn is what is going into my veg all. You could add beans as well, but I didn't do that this time. I'm going to do that next time. Honestly, I just forgot about it. I did have beans I could have added. I just forgot. So all of this is from my garden, 100%. The peas were frozen. I was defrosting those. Carrots, the beans, the celery, potatoes, the corn was from last year's harvest. So I'm just going to be cutting some of that off the cob. It's been defrosting now. So I'm going to add a little bit of that in there. And yeah, so I'm excited that this is going to be one more thing that I don't have to add to the grocery list when I go to the store. And Veg All has actually gotten pretty expensive as well, and so this is going to be a very frugal way of using up odds and ends. I need to get this corn on my fridge because it's almost time to harvest corn again, and so I need to make space. So we are just cutting that off the cob to add. And most importantly, whenever you are going to be canning something like this with mixed veggies, the canning time is going to go with whatever the veggie in the can that has the highest canning time. In this case, I believe it was, I want to say it was the celery. I can't remember. I believe that I canned these for 45 minutes just to be safe. So if you were canning carrots, green beans, and peas, the peas go for 40 minutes. I know that. Potatoes are around 40 minutes, I believe, for the size jar. And so whenever you are deciding how to can these, you want to make sure that your canning time is appropriate and long enough. And so you're just going to be look up all of the individual vegetables approved canning times and this will all be in a pressure canner. And you will choose whatever the longest time is out of all of those vegetables. That is the time that you will use when you're pressure canning these veggies together. So there is my finished homemade Veg All mixed veggies. Super happy with them. I can't wait to try this out and maybe a chicken pot pie or something very soon. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. I thank you guys for watching and hope you have a blessed day.